The PDF downloads of the African Dialogues, Volumes 1 and 2, are in the links below the description of this video. Charles. People are constantly trying to discredit Paul Twitchel and his writings to this day, accusing him of plagiarism. Duane responds, "From time to time, we just go through these things and get it out in the open, and it really has to be so with what's going on. For the longest time, the world pretends this and that, and it's not about good or bad. This is what I like about the recognition of the isness. When people really take the time to recognize it, you don't have any of those good, bad, right, or wrong ideas. It's simply about doing something that makes sense, and that's all. Many times it's talked about love. Where is the love, Duane? And this is a big issue, to where people won't even join our groups, because they don't see the love idea. What people are really saying is that it's really their personal life that they want to have reinforced, and realistically it's all these personal lifetimes that they have been through, that they want to get through to a bigger picture, and yet they still cater to the personal self. I refer to real love because that term, that word, that idea relates to the real universes of real freedom. Real love is shared, and that's what Paul was doing. He had typewriters that weren't even electric originally, and this was in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, where he was writing and preparing things. He used ideas and condensed things to a particular, but it's just the same words moved around. In the business world and in the school systems, things are termed a particular way. When Val was at the college, he was accused of certain things too, plagiarism, etc. That he had copied 5 words in a row, or some nonsense, and this is how ridiculous it has become. They set up these ideas of how you're not allowed to do something, and then they just wait for you to do so they can pound on you. Like the speeding signs on the road. How, as soon as you go over 2 miles an hour above the speed limit, there's a policeman there giving you a ticket, because it's all a set-up. Does it make sense to just be harnessed by all these restrictions? And is this what life is about? At a certain time, which is now, it's breaking out to make sense of things, and this is a shock to people. It shocks them because they're holding on, and they're afraid of what's going to happen. What they are really concerned about is if they're going to be able to watch the football game every night. Are they going to be able to play bridge with the girls? Are they going to have a barbecue this weekend? They're afraid that they're not going to have these things anymore. Life is about survival. What I've created is just words rearranged, and they are references, as much as they can be. So, whoever wants to use them, go right ahead. I suggest you use them for a benefit, but people will take them and often twist them. When I was in the corporation, when I was the little echist there, I remember Paul talking about John Roger Hinkins, and how he took the works and created Messiah. At the time, Roger became very big because he used the love idea too. He pushed it out there and did it very fast. So he had probably planned that for a lot of years. I've talked to people who have been through John Roger Hinkins, and how he is such a wonderful person, and how they received initiations from him, but they don't see the dark side of all of that, because again they look at the personal side, where they get something personally from these paths and teachings. Stepping up to this is where you have to wake up to be a real person, and that makes sense. Just like a mother with her children. This is what it's kind of like, and that is that I put everybody before me. The words are a particular, but they are not important, as they are just references. We're not building a business here. We're providing something that shows people how to really survive and wake up for themselves after all these lifetimes. Again, there are those who are going to try and pull it back, criticize it, etc. And they're controlled, or they want to control others, as it's all about control. It's all free will, and we respect free will. I'm fine with the confrontations. So yes, take whatever you can, and go out there and share it. It's not about me. I'm just grateful that I have the awareness this time to share it, because I've struggled even this lifetime to get here and to bring this about and to make sense of it. I'm shown on the real side, and what I do is bring it across. The guides on the real side go into your dreams and share, but who will recognize what is being shared? That becomes the difference. When Paul did the spiritual exercises, when he said to look for the light, that was the astral light of knowledge, and this is where people still are. That astral light knowledge has also been distorted in so many ways. It can be manipulated from the real side, from the astral worlds, and from that person's dreams also, to wake up to that and recognise that too is a toughie, because many people will say how they have heard it from their master, etc. So it must be true. This is where I don't talk about truth or any of these things, because each person has their own truth. But you've got to figure it out. It's a challenge, and you have to take on the risk. And this is where you become the risk taker. You have to take on the challenge to figure it out. And when you do start to see it, it doesn't always align itself, if at all, with what you have known. And then will you take the risk to stand real with it